Yeah, that's good. Oh, Jesus.
Make sure they can hear us, because
I listen.
last
So,
time they was talking for a good
FYI,
minute.
yo, because this is running off the battery.
It's not die.
If it go too, it's full right now. But if it go too long, this junk gonna mess around and we're gonna look real crazy in that junk time out, and then we in the dark.
We won't be in the dark because we have this lead
They'll
light.
just do that, yeah.
That's hilarious.
I feel like you can get up and turn on other lights on.
Right, because we gonna be in the dark.
Let me turn it on until it's started.
It started.
It's definitely started. I'm just trying to get everybody in the frame. Get Yodi. Like a zombie.
Huh?
Like a zombie. Tip, you have to.
Am I not in it?
I need to make sure I'm sitting so I can see.
Oh, this chair is good for me. I feel like
It's not gonna. You're not gonna.
So he turned it into a rocking chair.
I don't know who's sat in it. I don't know what happened.
You want me to hit recording?
Yeah.
But it's definitely
Oh
unstable.
my
Can
god!
you look at it real quick to make sure? Because I was trying to
Well, you
size
will.
it.
You
Like,
will.
I feel like I'm on the mouse at Quasi. Oh Lord, that is crazy. Oh, okay.
You're not gonna fall.
It ain't going nowhere.
No, you just
says the me.
oh, my water. Peter,
Says
got that?
me who
Right
will
there.
be on the floor.
Yep.
Mm.
Nice and slow.
Yeah. Alright, if you cycles, you then have Hello. So we are back. Sipping with siblings. I think I can see comments this time. I'm close enough to see comments. Please let me know in the chat if you can hear, but it's not muted, so I think we'll be okay today. And hello to all Tips viewers on Facebook Live. Today we're going to be talking about divorce and separation and possible reconciliation. And I guess like if you should or shouldn't, or what would be the parameters. And I mean, you guys all know that we have all been separated or divorced. Some of us twice. Well, divorced once, but married twice. So yeah, so we wanted to start there. I do have 3 questions that were sent to me as we will answer them as we get into the stream. But there was something that I wanted to talk about first. I don't know if y'all saw. Do y'all remember when Tyrese was crying online, and his wife had just walked out on him and left him?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are saying, well, no woman just walks out like that and just take a baby and leave. Well, she ended up doing a podcast like yesterday or the day before, and I forgot the podcast, but 2 guys do the podcast, and they were able to get out of her that she, for whatever reason, she said that there was a bunch of people in her ear when she was going through the anxiety of her marriage and the hurt and whatever she felt. She had a bunch of people in her ear, and it caused her to make an impulsive decision, take the daughter, and then just leave. And so she ended up saying, so they were like, well, would you reconcile if you could? And she was like, well, she kind of danced around it. She was like, yeah, well, if, we will both do the work, and if he would do the work and I would do the work, then I think reconciliation's on the table. But then he came back with a video after that, saying that she knew exactly what she was doing. And they both came from broken homes. She know what divorces look like and feel like to her and to him. And when he was coming home on a plane to fight for his marriage, and she put COVID mask on the cameras in the house, got the baby together, and like had the U-Haul outside and skated out like while he was on his way back from a trip. So I feel like that's how you break up with a boyfriend. That's not how you like leave a husband. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like it was super immature. She was trying to take accountability on the show, but even in her accountability, she somehow kind of evaded the accountability part of it. It was weird how she tried to word it, but things like that happen. And a lot of times women leave, and 80% of divorces are filed by women, right? So a lot of times women leave because we're just not happy anymore. So we're not committed to the commitment that we made to the marriage. I feel, as much as men are. Even though men might disconnect or leave mentally or check out, they don't usually leave you physically. And then there's times that they do. Somebody got I know someone that a husband is divorcing her, and she doesn't understand either. So I think we can give like maybe clarity or some of our own experiences as to what prompts it or what happens or why people go through it. And also thank you, Wives Club, for sharing the live. We truly appreciate you. Thank you so much. So where do we want to start?
Let's start with the questions.
You want to start with the questions?
Okay. Reese's thing.
Let's
start with Tyrese's thing,
talk about
then.
that way we can build off of that.
Yeah, so
go ahead.
No.
I thought you said that because you had some.
It was just.
He was
It
bad.
felt like it was a good start.
It was a good start.
Yeah, it was just a good start. I felt like.
It was definitely a good start, but so let me just give a little bit more intel then. So basically he shut her down and was like, nah, you're not about to get on here online like this. Not to mention he named names, he name dropped, like you had this person in your ear, you had that person, you had your mother in your ear. And then he said, but at the same token, you also had Taffy Dollar, Creflo Dollar's wife, Creflo Dollar married us. So you had good people in your ear too. You just chose to go with the ears that aligned with what you felt in the moment. Everybody was telling her that they felt like it was an impulsive decision, like weighing on it, just sit for a while. But she didn't. And now bottom line is that she's regretting her decision now.
But didn't she, based off of the story, right? Because I'm just listening to it. I ain't never heard about it until now. But didn't she already kind of admit that that's what she did? Or am I hearing that wrong?
No, Tyrese had already told the story. Tyrese said that he was online crying, like, I don't know what I did. My wife packed up. I came home. Everything was going on.
No, I mean, when she said her story,
she was on the podcast.
She said her story. Didn't she admit to
she
doing exactly what he just said?
Yeah. But I think she tried to.
She did, but she also danced around. She danced around the ugly part of it. She didn't tell the world how she devastated him. She didn't tell the world how she packed her baby up and put masks on the Ring camera and had the stuff outside. All she said was, what? She prettied it up. Yes. So she put COVID masks on the cameras in the house so that he couldn't even, like, you know how you could see the camera in here. He couldn't see what was going on. When he got home, she was gone. And the one, she pulled a Houdini. Now you see me, now you don't.
Well, see, that's one of the reasons why, like, guys are kind of like, we're like kind of gatekeepers to like who your friends are. And like sometimes y'all don't understand. We be like, nah, Tasha, she ain't right. Like Tasha, she not the one. You be like, why? I like her. And then, but you can see Tasha like scandalous. So like if we going through something, you need somebody in your ear who's gonna play devil's advocate for me. And if I'm going through something with you, I need somebody in my ear who's gonna play devil's advocate for you. Because I don't need somebody who's gonna be like, yeah, like you 100% right, and don't like you don't need that.
And to your point, I think that's something for people who are looking to get married. That's something you should probably establish in the beginning of the relationship. Like this is your go-to guy. This is you. This is that type of situation. Because I remember when I was in the dating market, I had Big Kev as that. Like anytime something would get off, I said, you got one number to call to get you out of this. And that'd be him because he understood me. He understood my workings and my thought process. So he can actually articulate without the emotion behind it and explain to her exactly what the situation was and then give her advice on how to combat the situation. So you probably should set that up in the beginning of the relationship. You know, like this is my guy. You know what I'm saying? And you got to trust that guy, obviously, because you know there's a whole nother situation with that. And you got to trust that girl. There's a whole nother situation with that. But that is something that we probably should, like, new relationships should start to make that a thing.
I think now. Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, I think the whole thing about people don't take marriage serious, period, right? So marriage is super serious. So you need to, when you get married, having a whole bunch of cute or ugly bridesmaids don't even make no sense. Like you need to have the people that when something go wrong in your marriage, these are my people. They stood with me up here when I said I was going to do this. So those are the people that should be keeping you accountable. Like, yo, then we all just stand there and pay all this money for these dresses. You ain't divorcing this man. Like so you wasted all our time. We have baby showers, bridal showers, and now
right there with
watch this though. You know that half of the wedding party is usually against the wedding.
half the time, because they be like,
they know.
They feel entitled.
They know, but you can't hurt that person and tell. Like, how many weddings you been in with the guy, and you be like, but hey, he happy, right?
But you don't find that out until the until you grow or get married again. Because I would never have half people.
Me too.
Yeah. Not in a negative way, but just I guess it's negative. I don't know, but like now I know literally who should have been there. It should have been 2 or 3 people.
Yeah, and that's it.
I find like
We went through the divorce thing and
we saw
who was for the whole marriage and
it should be people that you know that are gonna hold you accountable, because they say it during the wedding.
Yeah,
but that's a part that
nobody
just goes over people's head. But no. This guy, this best man right here. This is the guy that's supposed to get on your case when you acting out.
That's not my best. That's not
yeah,
my
he
best
was
man.
like that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
My best man still
and
like
the
that.
bridesmaid is supposed to be that one that's like, nah, you're wrong.
Oh, that was me. That was me.
You know what I'm saying? And then it goes from that point on.
I always listen to my best man though.
Yeah, but you
I did have him though.
You had.
But I think guys in general have better friends. I just think like guys. I think guys.
Maybe when you're young and because girls usually gravitate to somebody that's gonna be a yes person. But now I don't even tell certain friends.
You just
everything.
said what I was gonna say.
No, but that's when you don't have a good mindset. Like now, I only tell literally 2 people in each.
No, because see, it's how y'all are built. Like it's like this, right? If I call Tim or P and be like, she tripping, bro. Like, I can't take this. Like, I'm about to just be out. I know for a fact both of them will be like, yo, well, bro, like,
just be
patient.
Right.
You're just gonna leave like that, like, then what? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're gonna bring me through the process of what's gonna happen. Like,
which
right,
is something that women are not as capable
or
of doing.
No.
Because they're gonna get caught up in the emotion of what you're saying.
They're gonna see the tears.
And let me tell you what else he did, girl. You're gonna be mad at me with her. Like,
as a woman, she feels that's her job.
Yeah.
She feels that's her job to match your energy. Like, you're hurt, okay, I'm hurt with you.
No, you're right though. But no. Okay, so what you're saying is, and I get what y'all saying. Here's the reality of it. I mean, there's the bottom line is this, and I hate the cuss, but there's a lot of ain't shit bitches in general. Most of us are in that category, right? And so we just be like,
I don't even think it's because y'all ain't shit. It's just y'all get caught in the emotion.
No. Because what Tyrese's wife did, that's an ain't shit act. That was crazy. Like you took your whole baby in the middle of the night while your husband was on his way home. That's why I said that's something you do to a boyfriend. That's not something you do.
But listen to this. There's 100% accountability to her for that. But as we're talking about people surrounding you, it's just as more accountable for the people around her.
Yeah.
And the point that he's saying is that he doesn't think that women are capable of doing that. For one, because most women don't even like women.
Okay.
Women, y'all have this kind of like this club as women where y'all support each other as a whole, but individually, y'all have problems with each other because of who y'all are.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So when a woman is going through, there could be some type of envy inbred. This, especially if the other situation is not the same. Especially if her situation is not the same.
I was gonna say to agree with that is a lot of times it be this ain't our case, which I'm so glad. You know what, friends, we're grateful for y'all because there's a lot of women that to the point that you just said be married and they be like, girl, because if I was you, because if that was me, and they want you to jump out the window first so they can see like how she land. Because then maybe if I do it, then I might land like that too. So they almost want to push you up first and like live through you, like vicariously through you. Because if they're miserable but can't leave, but then most of the time they don't end up leaving because they see that thing don't fare out well. Like look at Tia, she's still out here playing herself after she left her good husband. So it's I'm pretty sure she had single and married friends in her ear. And you're right, we are the
Y'all
type
have
that
like a committee of women.
like the hive.
Yeah,
And you usually
like,
gravitate to the ones who agree with you.
yeah, right. So you're not going to talk to
y'all hanging up
as long. You're not going to
all right, I'll call you that girl.
Or you might even get mad at her for playing devil's advocate, being like, "See, you'll never understand what I'm going
That's
through."
another thing. Women by nature don't want resistance.
Not in general.
So if you're talking to your friend about something that you could possibly be wrong about, the first sign of resistance, you don't want to hear it.
Mm-hmm. She's not your friend no more.
She's not your friend no more. She don't understand. She doesn't get it. I don't know why she doesn't
whatever,
get it.
y'all. Whatever. That ain't right.
Then you call your other friend telling her that she don't get it, so she has to get it.
No.
And now you my bestie.
Yes.
Yes. And now we both talk about you.
Exactly. Exactly. See how that works?
Oh my God.
No, we don't see
Yo,
it.
I'm telling you.
They jumping us.
No, it's just us. It's us.
But see, that's why a husband is so important, because the husband is the one who should be the one leading and teaching you.
Yeah.
Not another woman outside of the
that's true. I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's so imperative to listen to your man. You know what I'm saying?
And I have to say though that Tim be doing that to me all the time. He be like sometimes he won't say a lot because you already know that. I'll be like, well, no, they're not really like that. So he'll go, I mean, they don't seem like they right, but I don't. It's your friend, so and then like, oh wait, he not okay, not approving. But the good thing, I don't have many friends, so that there's.
But even when we was growing up, I remember doing that to you.
Yeah,
like,
all the time. He's like,
you'll be on the phone talking about a girl. I'm like, you don't do that. Like, that girl could be on a three-way, and sure enough, that girl was on the phone with her, and then she get jumped the next day. I gotta help.
Yo,
the setup is crucial.
Yeah, the setup is wild.
To be able to see that, don't see right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna respond to. I can't see that. I can't see it.
Oh, I used to say, y'all stand down. Yeah, ISIS. They had us up in the corner. It's like, throw it down. Throw it down. Yeah. Okay. So we didn't expect that to go left like that.
That was a good question.
Y'all ain't ready for that. Okay, so I have.
And one other thing. Before you start that, right?
As a matter of fact.
No, but wait, hold on. Like as guys, right? The levels we go up, right? When I'm an ain't shit dude, I'm gonna have a lot of ain't shit friends to be ain't shit with. But as I get better and better, I usually drop these guys off the roster.
Yeah.
They're no longer talking to me anymore. I don't talk to them anymore.
Yeah.
But it seems like with y'all, like y'all will keep
the sisterhood together.
Right. Mm-hmm. Like y'all won't drop the girl off knowing that she trash. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because she's your friend.
Yeah.
Or we'll drop somebody faster. So
because
our committee is a little more
different. Tiff is different.
I definitely will.
Tiff is different. But most women will give women so many opportunities to see the good and all the things and ignore all those red flags. That's the thing. You'll ignore red flags in your own relationships between women, but you'll nitpick with relationships with guys. You'll have these same flawed women doing the same thing with you with a guy that's actually a good guy or a guy that's good enough that needs probably some work, but you have a flawed person trying to pick out flaws in somebody else.
Yeah, it's insane how it works, but we are like that, and we don't always see it right away. Because I mean, honestly, like
y'all are a little different, you know. But I would say the majority of women, like if they was your friend when you was 18 and you're still in touch with them, you're gonna be somebody they still talk to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where us, we kind of like, if he ain't doing shit I'm doing, he not working out, he not doing this, he not like.
Yeah.
Well,
he's kind of dropped off. I might, when I see him, be like, oh, what's good? Like, but he's not nobody I'm talking on the phone.
What you said is that we basically adjust to our friends differently than women. Mm-hmm. Women have this, I can't speak for you guys, but you pick your friends based on whatever. We pick our friends based on what we're doing in our life. So like you said, we in the gym. I got gym friends now.
Right.
I got people I would have never even hung out with. They're like gym friends, so we get blood on the mat, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And then as we evolve in business, then I got business associates.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then there are some people that still we're able to maintain relationships with. They may not be in these different fields, but they are growing mentally, intellectually, and they still provide value to the relationship. And I think that's why we kind of pick our friends by who brings value into our lives. And at some point, we're not wasting time. Like I just said this to her earlier today. I said, I'm at the point now where I'm 48. God willing, I got 30 more summers. What am I going to do with those 30 summers? So I got to pick the people I'm around wisely, not to waste any time, to be intentional about everything that we do.
Yeah.
Women, on the other hand, they don't necessarily pick friends that uplift them, motivate them. They pick friends because they like them. Because they're friends, whatever that is. Like they're friends. Like whatever, I don't know what that is.
She's been my friend for 20 years.
There's no such thing as friends with us at this point. How about that? Men don't have friends at this point. We have brothers because we've been around them long enough, and we have people that we help and people that help us, and people that we do business with, people that we move towards a goal towards. We don't just have friends. Like I just like him.
Like I have real good friends who I haven't spoke to, and so can I call them real good friends? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I have real good friends I haven't spoken to in years. You know what I'm saying? I wish them well. I still, you know, am fond of them, but we just don't have a common area to meet anymore.
Yeah.
We don't have a common time to talk. We don't have anything common anymore.
And if y'all had
he's still selling drugs, he's over here doing something else. You know what I'm saying? He running around in the street. Like, I don't have time to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? Although I still like you, and if I saw you, it'd still be hey, and it'd be genuine. It'd be like, damn man, good to see you. I just saw somebody like that on the way here. But would I ever talk to this person all the time? Hell no. Like, nah, you know?
Let me get to the questions. So I have 3, and then I have one that was in the Facebook group that it was like a scenario, like something they were going through, and I guess they just put that up there. So the first question is how do you get a person back after you have made the decision to leave the relationship? Meaning you asked for the separation or the divorce, but realized that you made a mistake.
Is this a woman or a man?
I don't know. I'm assuming a woman.
Because that answer is going to be different depending on who it is.
I'm assuming it's a woman. One because it's in my group, so it's women in that group.
Probably.
How do you get a person back after you have made the decision to leave the relationship? Meaning you asked for the separation or divorce, but you realize you made a mistake.
I don't even know if there's an actual answer for that. I don't know.
I'll throw this out there. Y'all piggyback off of this. Anything can be done under the right circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Anything can be done. If you break something, you can fix it. First step for her, assuming it's a her, is to take responsibility for what she did. To take completely total accountability for what she did. I'm gonna say this to the women out there. This is a secret. This is a cheat code right here. You want to get back into a man's grace? The number one thing that a man wants to know is that you understand exactly what you did and what the effect of that action was. That's important, because if a woman can just go, oh, let's just move forward. We can move forward, but how do I know that this is not going to happen again?
That's probably what Tyrese was.
Yes, yeah. Unless you can articulate to me sufficiently enough for me to understand that you understand what you actually did and why we are here. Because without that understanding, I'm always going to have in the back of my head, this can happen again. So it's up to the woman to be able to say, you know what? I did this, which is probably the hardest thing for a woman to do, which is that thing called accountability. And I understand how this affected you. And I understand what this made, how this affected you and our relationship. And these are the precautions, and these are the things that I changed so this won't happen again. Mm-hmm. When you start with that right there, which is a hard thing to do, because most women just want to kiss and make up. or just want to, they don't want to go through the hard part. They don't want to be under that scrutiny. And then in that time, I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot of fire on you because that man is going to be like, and you did this, and you did that. And he's going to be bringing up stuff that you didn't even think about. And it's going to come hard. It's going to come fast. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a barrage. And you're going to have to withstand that and stand 10 toes down and go, you're right. And without trying to defend yourself, so to speak. Yeah. Without trying to say but, because as soon as you start saying but, then it just changes the whole thing. So if you want that guy back, 100% accountability for what you did and be able to articulate exactly what it was and have some type of plan of how it's not going to happen again.
Articulate it, right?
Mm-hmm.
For her to ask, like, what it was.
Yeah.
Ask what it was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because normally, 9 times out of 10, she probably don't even understand what she's doing. She don't understand how it's bothering you. Because we don't say every single time you do something. We're not wired that way.
Yeah. Well, that
every single time
what
you
you're
do
saying
something
would be the first step to get to have that conversation to find out what it is.
Right.
And so then after that,
like I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. Right. But like, what is it? What was it about me that really, triggered you, or whatever the case may be, and allow him to speak? Or on the other end, if that was a man, if that was a man, same thing, like acknowledge the things that you did in that relationship that tore it up. You know what I'm saying? And then like commit to changing that.
That's the thing.
And honestly, that person may or may not want you back or not. That's nothing you can control, but at least you'll grow from it.
That's the best part about it.
You'll be free.
That's the best part about it.
You can say, like, I tried everything I can try.
And adding on to that, we're going to say something, but adding on to that, I think that if you're trying to get somebody back, I think the idea of getting them back should be removed from your head.
Facts.
I think the idea should be to become a better person that person would want back.
Right.
And then if that person doesn't want you, somebody else will.
Right. Because you did the work.
Because you did the work.
The chicken head after. No, I was going to say that, you know how some people, they do stuff to try to get people back and then it don't work and now they're mad and cut them out. That's what I was saying. Don't go with chicken head after. No, but I was going to say what Tim and Yuri was saying, because in the very, very beginning, when y'all said it, it's different for men.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when I was listening to both of y'all, it actually sounds like the get back is the same for both.
Yeah, pretty much.
The reason why I say that, because everything y'all was saying, and I don't know, her platform doesn't know about me and Tipsy divorce.
Yes, they do.
They do too?
She mentions it.
Snitched on us?
First of all, it's my feminine group. We talk about all of our stuff in here.
So the reason why I say that then, since everybody done told on us, is that very thing that y'all was saying was something I had.
Yeah.
Because I was the impulsive decision maker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that accountability on, what I did, how I impulsively did certain stuff. And I can say before agreeing to that is one thing that you got to be mindful of too, aside from having people in your ear, is most people don't think about having nobody in your ear is just as dangerous.
Yes.
Because if nobody's in you, and that was my problem.
Yes.
That was my problem.
You know what? Anyway, we should do that. Yeah.
Me singing the hero. Or the guy with the hood. Yeah, the guy with the bad hood. Exactly. So yeah.
You should file for those papers.
You know what?
Hurry up.
But we have a saying in drug abuse which says, like, your best thoughts got you here.
Yeah. So
you need other qualified people to talk to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even me, I never got back with a person I left, but like with both of them, the most recent ones, I'll say that I did exactly that. Like, listen, if there was anything I did to make you not hold your head high, or if there was anything I did to just like tear you down, that was not my intent. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, it helps me live a better life. Like, I can pray to God now with a clear conscience. I can move about with, clearly and feel good about myself because I took accountability for whatever I did. And then I actually listened too, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, all right. Because I know I could be certain ways, you know what I'm saying? And so, just admitting that, hearing it clearly, talking about it after all the smoke clears.
Yeah.
that helps me, you know what I'm saying? Because now I can, move about with a clear conscience.
What I want to say, because when I answered it based on a woman perspective. Now we bring it to a man. Now I'm starting to think about like what is the work for the man, and it is it's the same, but it's a little bit different. And I said this before, but if once you make a brass move like that and just leave, you lose trust. That woman loses trust. She no longer feels safe. She no longer feels protected. She feels that at any given time, this can happen again. And that's the place that no woman is going to thrive in. No woman is going to grow in that. No woman is going to give you their all because they don't know that you can just take it away from them again. So they're going to be withdrawn. They're going to be off. You're
going to have to qualify yourself.
Yes. So then it requires a different type of work because you have to go and get back to her core desires, which is to be safe. How do you make this woman safe? How do you affirm her to the point where she knows, you know what? I'm not going anywhere. How do you do that without saying it? You can say it, but it means nothing because your actions show otherwise. So now the work becomes planting those seeds, cultivating that idea, putting that concept up there, showing her why you're not going anywhere. Let her know that, look, I'm a man of principle. I'm a man of responsibility. I'm a man of honor. And these things right here, I didn't necessarily go by these rules before. Now I'm digging my feet in the soil in this right here, this foundation of respect, responsibility, and honor. You know what I'm saying? Which requires me to protect you from these types of things. And that is an uphill battle for a man. Because once you break something, it's hard to put it back together.
Yeah.
It's
even
probably,
when you put it back together, it's still gonna be fragile.
Yes. Yes. And it may be easier for a woman to get a guy back, to be honest with you, depending on what the actual act was.
Right.
Like, let's just look at Tyree's situation.
Like, if it had nothing to do with another man,
yes. Yeah, if it had nothing to do with it could always be worked out. And a woman has a better, easier, I don't want to use the word easier, but she has a different path to get back. A man, he has a lot more obstacles because he has to deal with things he can't see. He has to deal with things that he can't account for. He can't quantify how she's feeling at night when that thought come in her head when you out an hour too late and it's like, is he coming back? You can't account for that.
I used to do that. Word.
You can't account for that. How do you fix that?
There's some boxers missing. Did he?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh my God, the double bag is gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
So
is it a gym bag or is it a bag?
that's a whole nother challenge for a man.
I think the challenges are equally hard,
Yes.
but different.
But I think a woman has an easier path as long as she doesn't do that thing, that whatever that thing is.
That thing with another
It
person.
could always be reconciled with a woman.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I actually forgot what I was.
Okay, I'll tell you.
I was saying it equally as difficult because, like, for me, like you said, I need to know that you understand what you did. That's all. Like, you understand it because that's my number one thing. Like, when a woman is making excuses for what she did, I always say out loud too. So how I know it's not going to happen again.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't know.
So how I know it's not going to happen again. And if you don't even understand what you're doing wrong.
Yes.
And there's one more thing I wanted to say on that point right there. Asking what, all right, so the woman did something. She knows what she did, but she doesn't know. A lot of times women don't know the effect of it when it comes to a man. It may seem like nothing to you, but it's everything to me. And there's certain codes and things that guys live by that women don't even know that you're crossing. They don't even know that this is a high level threat in our life.
This is
crazy, but it's something that's simple to you. Like, I don't get it, like type thing. And when a woman has that I don't get it type mentality, it drives us crazy. Because then we're going to try to keep explaining it. And the more we explain it,
the more mad. We're not like women. I'll tell you that. They tell men, get it out. Talk about your feelings. Like, honestly, when I talk about my feelings, I get mad. Like, if I have to rehash it and rehash it and rehash it, I just get mad all over again. So me talking about my problems all the time does not help me at all. You know what I mean? I want to be able to say at one time, you understand it, and then I could be patient with like some mistakes, but at the same time,
bring up.
I was gonna say that for women, just in general, when you break up, like if you're the person that broke up with the man or whatever, I always tell women, like, if you're gonna break up with somebody, be serious about the breakup. Don't break up to prove a point. Don't break up to get a result. So a lot of women break up as a manipulation tool. They break up so that they feel like, oh yeah, because girl, we gotta train him to treat us a certain way, and then hoping that he comes back, knowing you wanted him all along anyway, but you broke up to get a result. So you're never supposed to break up. That's why, for me, breaking up, like, well, we just need to not be together no more. And saying that every argument, after a while, that becomes like, So if you're gonna leave for real. And then if you leave for real, you work on the things that were said in a relationship about you, and then hope to God that he's working on the things in the relationship that were about him. But I think Tim said it, that you should be working on getting the relationship back together as much as you should be working on getting you back together. And I just think that a lot of times women don't do that part. The work for that part is not done. They go outside, they hang with their friends, they do brunch, and then the guy come back and everything is exactly the same as it was before they broke up.
Exactly the same.
Nothing's different. So I just don't think that you should be trying to get, even if you realize what you did was wrong, it is okay saying that, listen, how I handled this was wrong. I'm not saying that we're going to get back to, if I even have a chance to get back with you, but I do realize what I did. You're going to move different. You're going to act different. And then just give each other, I would say, allow each other the space to see the growth, though. Because you can't cut people off cold. How are you going to know if they grew if you don't even keep anything? You know what I mean? So at least allow the space to see the growth, to see if it can reconcile. That would just be my advice.
Good advice. I think all of that is good advice, man.
So you want to go to the second question?
Number 2. Yeah.
Do you all think that the relationship has to sometimes be broken to be fixed, seeing as though some of you all have reconciled back to your original self?
No, I don't think
broken. What do you mean broken?
It has to be.
Wait, explain broken to me.
No, she said, do you think that the relationship has to sometimes be broken to be fixed?
Basically, like break up.
Basically, do you think that some people have to separate to actually reconcile?
I think some people do, and then some people don't.
Yeah, right. I think it's an individual case by case.
I don't think it's necessary. I just think when I say that I don't think it's I don't think it's a necessary thing, because the result is what you're looking for. How you get to that result is different. So to break up just to go through that change,
it has to. So that means
sometimes I think that you can get the same result by just sticking in there and having the tough conversations. I think the biggest problem with relationships is nobody want to have those tough conversations. But you know how many tough conversations me and her had? Like real tough, where I know she ain't got like none of this. Not even a little bit of it. But this is the truth, and this is what it is. And now, either she's gonna fight it, and I'm gonna be like, yep, now you know why I never said nothing. Or she's gonna go back a couple of days and go, you know what, you was right. I can do this, I can do that. Or I didn't agree with this, I didn't agree with that, but this, but that. And those are the tough conversations most people are not willing to have. And you don't have to break up to have those tough conversations. But see, what happens is if you take that idea and say, well, we separate, what's gonna happen in the separation?
Because some people, when they do break up, they don't always work on themselves.
No, exactly.
Most of the time,
exactly. Yeah. But if you're in that situation, you're forced to work on each other.
But see, now I think that there's a certain point too where there's certain issues that relate to codependence and why you behave certain ways. Mm-hmm. So like sometimes you do need to get by yourself and fix yourself, and sometimes it can't be done in concert with that relationship, because a lot of so let's say this, right? Let's say my woman is not used to me going out, like doing something new, like a business venture that I'm not in the house a lot anymore, right? Her issue is with me not being home a lot, right? That's an issue related to codependence.
So I'm gonna leave.
No, not that you leave, but let's say that problem causes so much strife in your marriage that he does or she does leave. I think that there's certain things
I get what you're
can
saying.
only
I get what you're
work
saying.
on
I get what
I
you're
know
saying.
what
if you're solo. Like,
Yeah.
you know what
that
I'm
sounds
saying?
counterproductive because if you don't want me to be gone and then I'm gone now, then the thing you didn't want, now you have more of it.
Well,
But some
it
people only
takes
see that
time.
because of that.
But see,
Yeah, and I think that
her issue is only related to codependence, right? Because it's not that I'm not home that you want, like, it's not that I don't know how I'm explaining.
I know what you're
Well,
trying to say.
I'll say it like this though. Like, let's say you got a guy in a marriage and he's taking care of everything. She doesn't understand responsibility, bills, all that type of stuff, but she's mad at him because he's always working. They get a separation or divorce because of that strife and that issue of always not being around and I need your quality time, all that type of stuff.
sounds familiar.
And now she ends up so now listen, like so now she gets to now they're not together.
No,
She
but
gets to experience
what I'm talking about.
what he's been trying to not allow her to experience.
Yeah.
And now she can understand this is why he was doing that.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I get
No,
that.
I
There's
agree with
some
that.
issues.
That's not everybody though.
No,
That's not everybody.
it shouldn't.
But there's
It shouldn't have, but it shouldn't have to come.
No, it
to
shouldn't.
that.
It shouldn't.
Like for instance,
Because a lot can happen during that time.
no, but for instance, like
You're risking the whole situation.
Yeah,
but there's a thing, like in certain things too, like I know for me, when I decided to leave Tim, it was because I mentally and emotionally could not take one more ounce.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like I could not take one more thing. I couldn't take one more late night, one more not coming to the house. I just couldn't take it. So I had to go for my sanity. You get what I'm saying? Like it wasn't a thing that could have got worked out together because we weren't working together.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I get
Things
it.
get worked out together
Then
when
you
you're
can-
working together. But if one's a rogue and this one's a rogue and nobody's working together,
You might
you might as well just
But I
separate.
mean, you know,
Honestly.
because like we're black folks, right? And like there's a lot of trauma that goes on with us that we don't really acknowledge. Like
Or no.
when we grow up, what happens, like our parental situations, how we were raised, all of it. And so like sometimes you don't even see what you're doing wrong until you are by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like
Or-
that person
yes,
can't
that's true.
tell you. And I'm not saying break up
Yeah.
so that you can deal with things alone. I'm just saying sometimes that's how God will, will ordain it.
How about we say that
Because
if
there's some people, right, who get off drugs, they'll try drugs, they've been on drugs for 10 years, and then they'll have like one day where they're just done. And they'll never touch it again. Then you got some people gotta go to rehab after rehab after rehab.
Yes, it's according
And
to
then
the
they're done.
personality.
Yeah.
So like I think there's two ways to do it. You know what I'm saying?
And I think sometimes I wouldn't say that you have to do it like that. I would just say that if it does happen like that, and you're a person that's like worth your weight in salt, that tries to grow, tries to be a healthy person, tries to work on yourself, try to hold yourself accountable, that voice, that spirit of yours that can say, well, why didn't he want to be around you though? Why didn't they want to come home? Were you not exciting? Were you not this? Were you not that? What could you have done? Could you have done more? So then those voices talk to you and you go, you know what? Did I do all I could with what I had? And if you didn't, then now it's like, oh, I got to look at the part that I had to play in this too. And a lot of people don't look at that because most people in relationships are busy playing the blame game, and it's you, and it was never me because you did this and you did this and you did this, you did this, you did this, and you never say, well, I did this too, or I could have done this better, or I didn't do this at all. So, people don't really take those time to evaluate and take checks.
And another thing, when it comes to transgressions in relationships, it's usually said that or looked at as men's transgressions are held at a higher standard than women's transgressions. Like you can point out he's never home, but to nitpick and say she doesn't smile when I do come home. That's not Like you can't go to your boy and be like, yo, she don't smile when I come home. You know what I'm saying? But a woman would have a stronger case that he doesn't come home.
Right.
So it's like what we require and what you require is so different that ours is not that much. So it's hard to explain what it is that you do. So that makes it a challenge to be accountable to. Because it's another thing. You know what was a major growth part for me was for me to understand how to explain to you what my issue with you was. That was a hard thing because I didn't know what it was, but I knew it was something. I knew it was something, but I can't. But then, if I'm being held to the carpet right here, I can't tell you what it is.
And a lot of things that women do, I'm just gonna just tell the truth.
And you may have needed space to understand.
Maybe space and time and just wisdom and just
because
growth. I'm leaning more towards what you guys are saying now.
Like,
as far as yes, I do believe, but I think that depending on what degree the relationship is at.
See, I think it works in two ways. Once you're away, you begin to miss what you loved about it, and then you get to see what you did not like about it.
So you're able
to say like, all right, well,
decipher.
do the pros weigh the cons, like you know what I'm saying? Like you can, but when you're in it,
sometimes all cons.
But let's start by being accountability. Let's start with this, and if we can't come to a resolution, then maybe that might be amicable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But don't just be like, yo, we just need to break up so we can fix this.
Right, no, then you add a whole bunch of, so let me just.
As a man, you never want to leave your woman and your children.
No, that's the thing. And that's why for me, that's why I'm leaning towards like, yo, look, the last thing you want to do, because there's a lot that happened during that time.
Can I say,
not really.
Because they're going to keep going.
Sorry. Got some bad news today.
No, but what I was actually saying about the beginning. Okay, so wait, I think what I was gonna say was, as women, though, I know that accountability is hard for us, right? It's just a hard thing, because remember I said that we're usually responders, so we're always explaining why we did what we did because we feel like it was a response to something someone else did. We're not usually initiators of things, and it's just it's not a feminine trait. It's actually a masculine trait that women need to adopt. Since we want to adopt all the other ones, why don't we start with that one, okay? But what I was gonna say is women have these things, right, that we do sometimes knowingly, sometimes unknowingly, that's more energetic than anything else because that's the arena that we work in. We work more in an energetic spiritual realm. So there's things that we do. And I was just telling Tim this the other day. I was like, women, because we have no power in this world at all. We don't have power over nothing, not even animals, only little kids. That's it. Little kids is what we have control and power over. Because we have no power anywhere else, we decide to use persuasion, manipulation, and seduction to get our way. So those are the avenues that we drive in all day. We're masters at it. We get so good at it that it's almost disgusting. So in a relationship, a full-term relationship that's going bad, it's usually some form of energetic treason that we're doing. It's not really like, unless you go out and you smacking your cheeks for every guy out there when you're married, that's clear. But most women don't have those clear-cut things. We have clear-cut things like, you come home and I'm mad, so I didn't cook dinner. And I did it purposely. And I did it purposely because I normally always cook dinner.
But if I bring it
up,
you can always have an
excuse. But I was tired, and it can make you look abusive because I feel like, well, I was just tired today, knowing damn well I wasn't tired. I'm just pissed off. But I'm not making the food tonight because you didn't come in the house on time last night. So most of the things that we do are low-key petty. They're small, tiny. They're like the small foxes that spoil the vine, you should say. Like that's the things that we have. We have the small foxes, and y'all have the transgressions that look higher. You get what I'm saying?
Why do you think men love dogs though? Because every time we walk in the door,
you're so happy.
They so happy.
Yeah,
I want to say this. I want to put some guys up on game. All right, I'm gonna put some guys up on game. Watch this right here. For the reason what you said right there. There's so many little things that you do consistently that a guy won't calculate all those things up when it's time to bring the situation up. How many times you get into an argument and you did this, you did that. Then what did I do? Well, you because you can't really bring those little things up. But guys have to start keeping receipts. They have to start keeping notes to say, oh, today you did that. Because what's gonna happen is when it's time to make the decision or when it's time to argue your point, you won't have the foundation.
You ain't got the intel.
You don't have the intel. You can't remember. You can't remember, and then you don't even remember. You just remember the feeling. You don't remember the act, the deed.
And our words work faster than y'all brains work. So we'll eat y'all up in an argument in general, just because unless we choose to be silent as wives and be like, okay, we're gonna understand. A woman will eat a man up in an argument because our words move so fast, and y'all brains be like, whoa, wait, what? Like I'm trying to process.
Oh no, we're not even talking about that.
How we here and we was here, right? So it's a shame, but I mean, it's just a tactic that women unknowingly have because we've been using it since we were kids, since we were babies.
But see, you know what? That's why I hate to be super spiritual, but that's why the Bible says your silence is the golden part.
Yes, I know.
You know what I mean? Like, because that gives a man time to think, time to process, time to speak to you about what he likes or doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then even in that, it's just the whole balance of the whole thing is wrong. If a woman is going into the conversation with that arsenal I'm gonna eat him up because he can't, and that's what they do. Yeah. And what we do is if the man is really a man is trying to save his family or trying to come to some type of resolution, he wants to lay back and not just respond. He wants to be able to think his words through before he speaks, have some time, and not allow the emotion of it to dictate how he says it and what he actually says. But a woman will just keep going. And then eventually at some point you got to defend yourself. Then now my voice raises. You know what I'm saying? And then now, why are you yelling? Nigga, you've been yelling the whole time. Oh, but your voice is deeper, so it travels more. Oh, now we talking about decibels. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, now we talking about the acoustics in the room now. You know what I'm saying? But you just can't admit you was yelling.
That's so true though, man.
Right? It does happen like that, but it's sad because you know what people don't understand is that marriage is just hard work. It is work every day, all day on yourself, and I feel like the biggest part is on yourself, but the work is so difficult because we came into this world two totally different people, two totally different upbringings, two totally different personality types, precepts, notions, all these things, backgrounds, upbringings, and then we want to bring it all together and become a cohesive unit. And people want to become a cohesive unit laughing and playing their way down the altar, not realizing that thing about to strike soon as y'all get home, because everything, it could be something small like you got OCD and I don't. You're a neat freak and I'm not. I'm a neat freak and you're not. It could be something so small that can cause the biggest levels of strife in a relationship. And if people don't know how to communicate effectively, because that's what it really boils down to, is effective communication, knowing how to talk to each other, knowing how to relate to each other, knowing how to take accountability, knowing how to work on yourself. But we're super defensive. I was actually teaching a class, an aesthetics class today. We were talking about effective communication, and there were so many tips, and I was like, y'all, this is not only good for aesthetics, this is good for your life, this is good for your business, this is good for your relationships, because it talks about like less is more. Stop being so wordy, stop talking so much, stop, focus on what's important, get to the point. But we're so wordy, we bring up stuff that's not important. I could say something to you and I'll be like, yeah, you know, and you did, yeah, because I'm telling you, you said, I know I could say that. Why did you say that part? Because that part was extra. Now we're arguing like it just makes it crazy.
I think what people need to understand is that like marriage is not meant for happiness. It's just not
meant for growth.
That's an unpopular opinion.
Like it's not meant for that. That's not the point of it. You know what I'm saying? It's for growth and legacy and you know,
it's a lot of principles, a lot of sacrifice. Well, again, something you said a month ago, you said that it is the woman's responsibility to maintain that relationship. So many words.
Right. To make sure we don't argue.
Yes, it's her responsibility. Her responsibility. Because guess what? If there is a clear head of the house, which again, the world we live in now, it could be anybody. But over here, we know who the head is, the man. You know what I'm saying? And for those other guys, maybe this don't apply to you, or girls. But if there's a clear head of the house, then another thing you said, Yodi, was that if the woman never had a male father role, she doesn't know how to submit under that type of authority. That's going to be a challenge for her every day, all day. So then the next thing is, if you never had a father, then maybe you got a pastor, because you'll submit to him. You'll do everything he tell you to do. And if you don't got a pastor, you got a boss. Yeah. And you do everything he tell you to do.
Yeah.
What does it look like for a woman that's never had a real role model as a man to submit to her husband, especially when she's already submitting to other men? Or not, what does it look like when she doesn't do it, when she's already submitting to other men? All that man wants is the same respect that you would give those other men. Now, if you had a father, you understand that. And you understand that you're not going to get your way all the time. You're gonna understand, even with a father-daughter relationship, he's gonna say no 7 times out of 10. But those 3 times are gonna be the times that really matter. He's gonna come through when it really matters. You see what I'm saying? So she has to be able to, a daughter's gonna be persistent with her father. She's gonna be persistent in getting what she wants. And she's gonna keep doing it, and she's not gonna feel no way. She's not gonna turn her back on him. She's not gonna call him the ugly guy or the bad guy. He's not going to become the bad guy. Yeah, she's not going to do any of that. She's going to accept it because that's her role and that's his role. And she has to know that he has her best interest and a long vision of what this family and what this union looks like and where we're going. Now, when they can understand that, then you got something to work with. But if you don't have that, and then she's going to be competitive, she's going to feel that, and this is very unpopular, her opinion in that matter is as, if not more important than his opinion. Or what he's saying. It doesn't even have to be his opinion. And that right there causes a controversy right there. Because guess what? Opinions don't matter unless they're asked for. Like,
no, for real.
Opinion, you can have an opinion, that's fine. But I didn't ask for it. So then, but a woman will feel a need to be heard in that way because I feel that my opinion needs to be heard. Okay, but if I hear it, that doesn't mean I'm gonna take it and consider it. Not that I'm not gonna consider it. It doesn't mean it's gonna change the outcome.
Right.
If a man, let me just say this: if a man changes his output or outlook, or not his outlook, he changes his decision based on what his woman says. I'm gonna tell you what that does. That slowly but surely makes her believe that she can sway this man's decision.
It erodes the
yes.
power
you see what I'm saying? Because now I can sway him. Now he's not solid in his decision making. Now I can come in with an idea and it change his whole thing. So if a woman says to me, if you say to me, okay, well, maybe we should do this. Now, if what you say brings a new idea to me and brings a new understanding, and I say, well, based on what you're saying, from what I understand, this sounds like it's a good idea. Let's do that. But that's me making that decision to do that, not you telling me to do it. It looks like it's a big difference. Not you telling me what to do.
One of the things is like, if you're, and this is true for women in general, and this is the thing the problem with women is that we don't even understand ourselves. So we don't understand a lot of times why we're doing what we're doing. But the fact of the matter is if we feel like we can tell you what to do, it takes away from our respect level. It takes away from our security level, and we don't even know it. It's like somebody that breaches the codes and don't know that they breached the code. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I could say, well, Tim, we need to do this, and let's just do it. You go, okay, babe.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't want no woman really truly wants a man that doesn't think for himself. But we might tell each other that. We might think that's what we want, but
or it may feel good at the time.
In the moment,
power feels good at the time.
At the time, right. But because we're not even cognizant enough to be self-aware to know that these are our tendencies, that we'll think the guy is a bad guy. We'll think the guy is trying to control us. We'll think the guy is trying to take over. And when in reality, it is his job to kind of take over and lead it. your opinions, what you think, your data will go underneath the umbrella of it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the pieces on the board are going to move at that time.
I might not move the needle.
But so go ahead.
No, I was going to say also, again, I said this
Thank you.
maybe a few weeks ago, but if you can sway me that fast, so can other women.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody.
Yeah, that's true.
Anybody, you get a phone call.
Now, you know.
Hey.
Yo, smoke this crack.
Yeah.
Come on.
So, I mean, you know, do you want a man that's swayable like that? I don't think you do.
Most women say they want that type of man. Most women say, I want my man to be my best friend. I want my man to be this. I want my man to be understanding. I want him to be this. I want him to be that. But there's a trade-off for everything that you're saying you want. And when it's time for him to be the opposite of that, you can't expect that.
It's not going to come through because he hasn't been utilized. It ain't been working.
I'll give you an example. I don't drink. I don't dance. I don't party. I don't do a lot of those things that Pee-wee does. Pee-wee has a bunch of fun. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm envious sometimes to see him having so much fun. Like last night we went out, he was having bad for 1 second. But for me, where I come from, I have to be the guy that makes sure that this shit don't go left. And if it do, I'm about to say something to you. I say, yo, shit go left. We going out that door right here. I'm gonna say that, but I say, you know what? I don't need to do that. We good. But I get it, you know what I'm saying? But that's how I'm thinking. So if you get a guy like me doing what you do and get a couple drinks, then I lose that part.
Yeah, I got
so when it's time for me to do that, I can't do it. But I'm gonna let you have the fun. Yeah. I got this, bro. Yo, you on guard all the time. I'll be on guard tonight. Have fun. You see what I'm saying? So you want that type of thing, but you can't have both. You know what I'm saying? All the time.
You can't live at the same time.
It can't exist at the same time, and that's the crazy part. So as far as like possible, because a lot of times people don't know about like divorce and reconciliation. So I'm just gonna expose myself. So she said you went back to your original spouse. I didn't go back to my original spouse. This is my second marriage, okay? My original spouse, when we broke up, there was no turning back. There was no looking back. I had no interest, right? And maybe he didn't either. I didn't care if he did or not. But the fact of the matter is there has to be some parameters for why reconcile. And then we could look at our relationship, and we've broken up a couple times and reconciled. So what are the parameters? Because a couple of the last of these questions, they kind of seem very similar. They're both, one was talking about one said they're already divorced, but they get along super well. You find yourself having feelings for them again, but now they're in a relationship with someone else. It doesn't seem like they're super in love based on their and y'all interactions, like flirting, etc. And I don't want to wish ill on their relationship because I want them, the person, to be happy. But what could I be doing to better my chances of getting back? So
continue doing what you're doing.
Just keep working on yourself and doing what you're doing.
Well, one thing, is she in a relationship too?
I don't think so.
Now, as long as if she's not, why you know her, Tiff?
No, but based on this,
she was like, nah, she's not. No, who are we talking about, Tiff?
I don't know.
Where do these even come from?
They come from the inboxes from the
But if she's not in a relationship, that's gonna always keep his attention. That's always gonna keep that sexual tension.
Oh yeah, facts.
If she's not in a relationship, that's gonna always keep sexual tension between the two, and it allows her to be flirtatious without crossing any lines. Because if you got a guy and you're flirting with me, then that's one of the reasons why I left you in the first place. Because you want something else. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now, you know, it's a catty game when it comes to women, because I say all the time that if a woman wants a man, she can do, like you said, the art of manipulation, persuasion, and seduction. It's a very difficult thing for a guy to turn that down. For some reason, it's just hard for a guy to turn down a woman, especially if he's anywhere attracted to her, as it is for a dog to stop humping. Like it's just like, you just can't. It's like if a guy's attracted to a woman and she really wants to put that full court press on, it's a very difficult thing for a guy to resist that.
Yeah.
You was gonna say something?
Well, yeah, but go ahead. I'll let you.
So with that being said, that if she's in that situation, she has to do a drip campaign, so to speak. Just be available. Just be. She got kids. Come pick the kids up. Hey, I thought about you. I know you got a long drive back here. Here's some bottle of water or something. Just little stuff. The little
flirtations. Come in and eat.
Yeah, something like that. And then all it is, but
it look good all the time.
Yeah, it look good or it smell good all the time. You know what I'm saying? And make sure that you're available. And I don't mean sexually, but just available. Yeah. That somehow you can translate that how you want. Just be available. Like not he come by you in the corner somewhere doing. No, just be present. Just be present.
Be nice. Be yourself. Look good, smell good, be shiny.
And what's gonna happen is this right here.
Put lotion on.
He's with
oil.
That oil.
Body butter.
Coconut.
Stop.
I tell the secret.
I'll take up two after that because it depends, right? My first wife, I don't want to be too, but I left her because of who she was.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't like who you are.
Right.
I don't like who you are.
Yep.
I don't like how I am with you.
Yeah.
I don't like none of it.
So that's not the case.
But this one right here, they're still having
the second one. That wasn't the case. It was certain problems that we had that we couldn't work out. Now, let's say we were able to work these problems out.
It'll be a different
there would
story.
be a chance. With the first one, there would never be a chance because I am not a fan of you. And that's the thing. So in this situation right here,
it sounds like they're already divorced, but
they best of friends.
They're getting along.
So they don't really have any issues.
So what this woman should do is going back to the original question.
Some girls would say, "Would you try to go after because he's in a relationship?" So is that bad on her?
But she's not trying anything. She's just doing her.
No. Look. So this is what you do. Again.
He's not married.
That's what I would say.
Only wives count.
I would say.
So then take the first question and the answer to the first question is start showing accountability for what you felt the relationship lacked and what your part in it was. Like, hey, I was thinking. Have conversations. But this is what I was about to say. When a man is away from his wife or the woman that first of all, he married you.
Right.
So that's a big step. That's a big step for a man to say, I want to make this woman happy.
Yeah.
I want to give her the glory to stand at that altar and say she got me. That's big. A bunch of women could have had the opportunity, but it's you. I chose you.
Something about you.
Yes, you. You're the one. So that's a decision that most guys are not going to renege on. They're not going to just go back on because they felt that it was you. And unless there's some mitigating
we don't place our love willy-nilly.
Yes.
It doesn't just go everywhere.
Yes.
So mark your ass.
Yes.
So, no, he did not. He just divorced you, but he came back. We here now. We're okay.
We here
now. Okay.
She's stabbing you.
She's stabbing you. She's
okay.
I got a bulletproof vest on.
Therapy.
Okay.
But if what was I saying?
I want to ask a question to y'all.
The guy willy-nilly. You said something. You said I'm putting. But I chose.
If a guy marries you,
you don't just renege.
Oh yeah. So I still don't remember, but I'm acting like I do. I'll make something up.
It's gonna be good.
Just wait, watch it. I got you. So what it is, when he's with that woman, he's gonna remember all the things that you are because she's not.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen. Yeah. And I think somebody said that. When you with somebody else, all that other girl is gonna do is show you why you was with the first girl in the first place. That you just have to be patient to let that happen.
If it happens. So this is the part for me that I would say with women, and this is the part going back to when we were talking about separating in general. The part that I was gonna say is that's where it can get sticky, and that's where you need a strategy, like a game plan as a woman. You cannot lead with your emotions in that way and in that area, because once it's dissipated, now the door is open, the room is open for him to be in another relationship with somebody else. And now as the woman, you can't go crazy and go sick. You have to allow that relationship time to play itself out, literally and figuratively. You gotta let it play out, and then you gotta let it get played out, where he just sick of her.
See what she did?
I like that.
And then now, but that takes time and space and patience. And during that time, You can't be the one that's the nag, the hag, and the drag. You gotta be the relief when it comes to your house to pick up the kids. Hey, I got some water for you. I made some food. You want to play? And then just let him go on about his way. And now he gotta go back to the girl that's like, well, where was you at just now? Because that's how it works. It's the same cycle with everybody, with every person. It doesn't really change. So that's the part. This is the part we have to
guy, he disappeared.
If you get in here,
Poor guy.
I'm telling you, it's a strategy.
It's a strategy.
No, it is a strategy. Listen, y'all know I know, okay? It's a strategy. You just gotta be patient and you gotta chill. And a lot of other women will tell you, oh, girl, that's stupid. Why would you wait on him? He over there going home to that girl every night. Girl, shut up, because you single too, okay? You don't got nobody either.
And misery
So
love
in
company.
misery love company, they just love to tell you what they would do if it were them. If it was them, you would be upstairs with your toes to the ceiling. So stop lying, okay? They always lying, knowing that they would not
They
be
can't
doing
hold
that.
out either.
Always talking about, oh, it
Matter of
was-
fact,
it
that
was
same
me.
guy.
It could be him, right? Lying. That girl said
But I
it
want
was
to ask
me.
y'all two something, Tip and Pee Wee, right? Does that come back up sometimes in arguments and discussions now?
What part?
Divorce?
Like the fact that, like, well, you left me before.
You left me.
Nah, I don't think we ever.
don't talk about that.
I don't think we ever had that.
No, we don't talk about
Yeah, she doesn't even talk about that with me.
Because one thing I noticed when they were split up was that you can see that they had a genuine friendship outside of marriage. Like,
Yes.
they
I
was
agree.
cool as hell together, like, you know.
Yeah, no, we don't talk about it. I would say now, well, we got back together because clearly.
So it didn't cause like a dent, like a
No, well,
deep
Well, it's
knife
kind of like, I
cut.
feel like it should be a start over
it's just
more. Like
now
that
we are
one
really
died.
work. We really have to work. Like that's just
Yeah.
really what it is.
Yeah.
Like,
You know what, too, though? I think for me, though, I don't feel like it was a dent because it wasn't long enough.
8 months.
It wasn't long
8
enough.
months. Like, but you be saying like
8
you
months
wanted
is
it
a
longer.
Bro, what I'm saying is, though, like
It could have
usually
been
when
then.
no, but I'm just saying for me, because it felt like, I don't know if this even, it didn't feel real.
Yeah, I got you.
Like,
yeah.
it didn't feel real.
and y'all
So,
still was seeing each other.
yeah, and we
talking
still
to each other.
talked.
Yeah,
We still dealt with the kids together. We still, like, we hung out. We did, like, so it didn't
So
feel.
she was just wild.
No, guys.
It wasn't.
Hanging out with
No, they
Not like
was
that. Not like that.
Yeah,
What I mean
no,
is,
we
like,
did not see each other.
I think when you have
That last
when you have space and you don't like each other, then I could say it will put a dent. And when you start having conversations like that,
And
but I
talking to other people, like Nisha said, it makes you realize what you probably did have.
Right.
Which,
Probably did.
not saying
Still
you,
can't
not
say
saying you
Still
have,
can't
not saying you have.
vulnerability.
to do
That's
that.
what
Probably
happens.
what you probably.
But
Oh,
no, not saying that you have to, but like you said, like you notice it and you're more aware because you don't have the person.
You got base point.
So it's
Yeah.
like
got a way
you
to
have
say,
time
okay.
to sit and be like,
And see, but like men and women are different
You
too
get
in
to
that
see all
way
these lanes
because
out
like you know, like
Niggas is trash.
men, like our member is on the outside, y'all's is on the inside.
Inside,
So
yeah.
so
you
like,
used to go there.
you know, like you said, if the man is like going around, he might have a girl or a fling or whatever the case may be. That could be nothing.
Yeah.
It could be
Oh,
absolutely
for most
nothing
guys,
to
it's
him.
absolutely nothing.
But for a woman, like once she starts dealing with
Yeah.
another person,
You're
like
attacked.
She's
become-
attacked.
Most of the time, it's
some
more-
of your
most-
heartstrings attached.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way.
Some of
There's
them.
a difference between somebody doing something to somebody and somebody having something done to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
Yeah. That's
You know what I'm saying? So a guy can do stuff to other women, which
It could mean nothing.
women don't understand that
They
because
don't get
they're on the other side of it, so they can only identify what it feels like to
Even
them.
if you look at
You know
the
what I'm
act of it,
That's so true.
if you look at the act of intercourse in itself, right? You can see like the dominance.
Yes, that's the point. So
You
again,
can see
a guy
that,
is
like-
dominating a woman that's being dominated.
You're right.
There's a mental difference between the end result of that.
Yeah,
I
right.
dominate something.
Right.
Ah, I'm charged up. You get dominated, you get humbled, you get put in a place.
Right.
You get in a
That's why
place
the emotions are so attached.
Exactly. So it's a whole different act that's being done. So when a woman like I'm gonna do it's a different. It's a different. And that's why women always say he couldn't handle it when I did it, because what you did is let some other man completely dominate you.
There's no room for me no more.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And then for a guy to dominate something, that's like that's a win. That's a check. It's a chip on his belt or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It could mean nothing. It could mean nothing.
You know, spiritually it means a lot. Like, you know what I mean? It means a whole hell of a lot. So.
Well, it means a lot in his responsibility, because if a guy does do that, then he should be doing it in the sense that he's going to be responsible for that, that whole act and what comes from that.
Right.
But guys don't think like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's the part. Like, we just be living life so haphazardly.
But we got these principles, all of us.
No, but what
we know them, but we don't apply them. We don't understand them when it's time to understand them.
No, but here's the thing: everybody don't have the principles.
It's new wave.
You know what I mean? People don't have the principles. And you know, and even the highest of principle, people be falling short. But at the same time, it's kind of just like to live haphazardly like that, like guys not realizing that, like, what they're doing and the responsibility that will come from that, and women not realizing what the detriment is to having another man when you have another man. Like, they just, nowadays, this new wave, this new age has blurred all the lines, and nothing is concrete anymore.
But more women are more masculine now.
Yeah.
So that masculine trait would allow. In some ways, women think they're dominating guys.
But if men, but I would still put the onus on men, because if men weren't so feminine, they wouldn't be able to get away with it.
I agree. Well,
we're raised by mothers,
but you know what it is?
Without that,
you know what it is? I'm gonna tell you a secret. This is what it is. There's, let's say, 20%. That's a big number of the men out there that can get pretty much what they want.
10.
I said this. I'm being generous. I'm being generous. Let's say it's 20%.
Okay, admin with money. Yeah, that's another cornball with some money.
Yeah, I would say that 20% of the men that can pretty much get what they want. 80% of those guys got to figure out how to compete with us. So what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna start being bitches. They're gonna start being friends. They're gonna start being chit chatty boxes. They're gonna start doing all the things that we're never gonna do, and then they're gonna start saying, "Oh, I like this," because we never get a chance to do this. And then they're gonna be friends, and then they're gonna be this. They're gonna be, oh, he's so cool. He understands me. The whole time he going, yep, this is my strategy. Yeah. Yo, remember the show we watched? And the dude cried in front of all them dudes, and it was the dating show. Remember?
Oh yeah, I know something.
And the dude cried. He was in there kissing the chick that night. And the bitch was like, oh man. And then at the end, she didn't pick none of them.
I remember Dad sitting Nisha down. Like saying, like, yo, there's 3 types of men out here.
Yes.
What are those 3 types of men?
One is the responsible man, the man that is going to marry you, love you, take care of you, provide and protect for you. The second kind of guy is the guy that's going to take advantage of you. He's going to just want to sleep with you. He only wants you for sex.
And you know that.
Yes, and you know that. And he's upfront about that. Like, not really upfront, but he is the guy that you know what it is. He's running around.
Then you got the beta.
No, hold on. Then there's a third guy, he said, that will pretend he's your friend. He will act like he is he want to hang out with you, go shopping with you. He's gonna
avocado toast.
He's gonna watch movies with you, but at the end, he's still the second guy.
And he's the worst kind of guy.
Yes, that's what he's the third
one. You know why he's the worst kind of guy? Because he makes it hard for the women and for the guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
So again, a guy that's straight up, you gotta respect that.
Right.
You gotta respect that guy.
At least you don't know what you're dealing with. But the third guy is more cunning of them all, because he pretends like he wants something else when he really only
like they say, I want my racism straight up. Like, call me a nigga. Don't deny me.
Don't microaggression.
Yeah, like, don't do that.
No, we can't have voter ID because black people don't have IDs. You know, that's racism right there. We too stupid. We don't
the last one is kind of the same. So this is weird. So it says, I've seen that the podcast on divorce, separations, and reconciliations is coming up. I want to post my question, but using this because she posted it honestly, so that it will help others too. I'm married but separated. My husband and I still see each other. It seems like he may want to work on things, but we haven't talked officially about it at all. He comes over, sometimes he simply hangs out. We watch movies or eat, but that's it. I'm not sure if he wants to try again or if he just needs a friend, but I'm confused. I don't want to push him away if I ask, so should I just ask or should I sit tight? I just don't want to jump into things. When we were together, we argued a lot about many things, too much to get into. I suggested therapy, he declined, but I'm really not sure what this is now.
Ask.
I would
No,
say don't ask.
no.
See what he gotta say.
No, because that's all that's gonna do. It's gonna
You
disrupt.
never want to force a man to define.
So what it is.
Yes, it's gonna. Yeah, listen, I
Don't have him define it, because now once he defines it,
Somebody
he's gonna-
I can tell you what she's afraid of, though. She's afraid
Honestly,
she's afraid of the
yeah.
color.
Yeah.
For no reason.
listen. Once he defines it, he's only going to color in the lines he defines.
And then at
Don't
this
make
time,
it something.
he doesn't know what it is.
Right.
So he doesn't know. You're gonna ask him, but now he has to put the mental effort on figuring this out, not knowing what you're gonna say, and now his whole feeling. It's like,
The vibe
you know
is
what,
different.
Now I guarantee he won't show up to
It was
now.
it was a free flowing
I would
thing
sit tight.
before,
Let it flow.
and it was festering.
And it was
Let it
organic.
fester.
Yes.
It was
Let
organic.
it organically
Well, I
fester.
have-
Don't say nothing.
She
That's
probably
my
just need
opinion.
to make adjustments
I
to her
have
actions.
Let's just say it, because it don't
I'm
talk.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
here's the thing. I got two things. One, I probably would I would feel like you're demoting me to a friend, so I wouldn't want to be around. That's another. That could be just personality or what. Or you could go with the flow, don't ask, and just get him to like you again. Like I
would go with number
Would that
two.
mess with your pride though?
But I was
The
about to
second
say
one?
that. Yeah.
what going with the flow,
Yeah.
or
Because you still in
not
limbo.
be
You don't
or
know.
not be about.
Like you said, be likable, right? Basically, was your second one, but would your ego take a hit?
Yes.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
I feel like for number one,
I would
would
want to
take
be
a hit
friends.
already, because I would think that too. So here's the thing.
Well, real quick, I don't think that a guy's ever gonna want to be friends.
That's what I'm saying.
So that don't even
Yeah,
that's not
No,
possible.
that's not in
It's
your
not-
card.
That's not in the car. So what you're
Who
saying is
wants
not
to be
even.
your friend? Pee Wee, the man who we married you? Is that what you're saying?
No guy's gonna be at a girl's house and
Well,
want to be her
no,
friend.
I know people who do
No,
that.
you-
And they're
them-
manipulative.
Them the
They're
other guy,
around
but
for
not
a
the
certain-
guy that you just had a situation with.
This is a situation.
We talking about the
Oh, yeah.
third guy. The third guy is that guy.
I don't care what nigga is in your life.
Mhm.
He don't want to be your friend. He
Yeah,
wants
that-
the vajiji. Like that's
Yeah.
it.
What's the cookies?
Yeah.
He
I
either
don't-
wants it
yeah.
with a commitment or he wants it without a commitment.
And
But
then
he wants it.
he's hanging out and he's not pushing the issue for that. He's trying to allow the situation. Because as soon as he has sex with her, then now you gotta talk about those things.
Yeah, now you do. Yeah.
So
Gotta
he's
play out.
he's playing it smart.
Yeah.
He's outsmarting you, homegirl.
Yeah. No,
Ah!
I guess you should just
Yeah, wait it out. Wait it out.
wait it out.
Okay, the women are saying sit tight. Another woman says sit tight, no expectations. Somebody said, nah, he's sitting tight.
Yeah,
He's
it's-
saying
it's-
that.
maybe she the problem. Maybe he's waiting for you to do the stuff
Or
that you.
maybe he's looking for some growth. Yo.
Yeah, exactly.
Or he's around, like I said,
He's
giving
around
you
just
a
to
He's
observe.
giving you an opportunity to
Are you
see.
talking about yourself, Ken? Because you talking to
I ain't
third
even thinking about me.
Ah!
Why you keep trying to will me in?
person.
Why you trying to will me in?
He got a thing of talking in third person. He's talking about himself.
No. I
What
was
did you
just
just say?
saying.
What did you just
Or
say?
maybe I'm looking for.
I said maybe. I
he's
said
looking for
maybe he's looking for the growth. He's hanging
Yeah,
around.
exactly.
No,
Or,
no.
or maybe he's giving her the opportunity
Yeah.
to show him the growth.
No,
Because that's the thing. What you said before, you got to be around to see that the thing change.
Yeah,
Like
that's
he's
what he
he's
will.
putting himself in a
Well, I mean,
position
I
to
don't
give
know
her the
what-
opportunity to show him that it
Let me
changed,
read
or
that.
showing him.
Read Ice's comment, but
I disagree because they are still married but living separated. If they were legally separated, then I wouldn't. But your marriage is just on pause, so I'd ask, given that you're still in a commitment.
Dang, you done lost.
Big old finger.
Big old fat.
Oh.
Sorry, Isis.
I get what she's saying though. I didn't even realize that they were still married.
So here's this is what
I get what she's saying though.
But
It should be a conversation if they married you.
I'm gonna no, not really, because here's the thing. Married is a paper, right? Being legally married is on paper. It is a systematic way to judge what you have spiritually and emotionally. If what you have spiritually and emotionally supersedes the paper, meaning that spiritually and emotionally y'all are apart. Whether you're
is marriage, not
the paper. So if you're if you're not cohabiting, you don't live together, you are separated, you guys have made a decision at whether amicably or amicably to be apart. That is the decision now. So now,
and there's no sex,
providing that we're just hanging out, right? So for me, you're still legally together, but the thing of it is, and I know a lot of people had asked me this question in one of the last podcasts, and I think that was one of the things that I actually had was we were totally separated, like literally separated, hadn't seen each other in forever. And so when he started coming back around, I felt like that too. I was mad confused. I was like, so Tim was just by here. I don't really know. I don't understand. But you gotta sit tight, because I knew it was something instinctually, intuitively. I knew that if I talked about the relationship, it would make it awkward. It was never awkward when he came by. If he came by and he was coming by, hey, I got food, I got water, I got this. You want to come watch a movie? I'm going to bed. You can leave. Like, I didn't know where he was going. I didn't ask. I didn't necessarily even really care. I was just more glad that we were recommuning, to even if it was only to take care of our kid.
Now,
so
I know there's
I would want to at least it be something. If we're married, I think it's different.
Should be asking. What are we doing?
What are we working? Like, what are you working on yourself? Am I working on myself?
Who cares? Like, I'm already working on myself.
I wouldn't. The thing is this though, if you're in that situation,
you would like what?
Where do you start? There has to be a starting point.
I just feel like
you would want it to be like in limbo, like not knowing.
No. If you're married, was separated, now you're just gradually. I don't like when people, if we got something going on in an argument, you just try to come and talk. I don't like it. It could be my anxiety. Yeah. But if we married, we got separated. Now you just trying to hang out with me, like what? No.
What are we doing?
I need to know.
So let me.
But like I said, I don't know if that's my anxiety or what. But
I think that sounds more like ego.
Yeah. But let me say this right here.
It's not my ego.
Let me try to go into the mindset of the guy that's actually coming around, because I was that guy. Mm-hmm. So let's go there. Mm-hmm. So in my situation, when I would come back around, it was always good to have that familiar, that comfortable, that just knowing that at the end of the day, there's somebody who really, really still cares about me. Mm-hmm. Like, a new relationship, you still don't know. You just don't know. Mm-hmm. You don't know what's that gonna be. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to find a specific thought process or a specific feeling at the time. But I just remember there was never a time that I ever wanted you to be completely gone out of my life. And sometimes it requires to just be around. Never a time I'm like, yo, nah. I'm good. I remember being with a girl and she put divorce papers on my dresser. And them things sat there. They just sat there until she got mad and moved them. You know what I'm saying? Because this right here, we don't know what's going to happen with this. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I know the type of person she is, and I know that she's doing her work. She's always doing her work. So one of the things that we discussed before at some point when we separated the last time, is that how do you know unless you're around the person? How do you know unless you have access to the person? Mm-hmm. You don't know. Mm-hmm. Like, I remember her rejecting me, and I'm saying the whole time, everything, and I said this confidently. I said, everything that you mad about, I can deal with that because I'm not even that guy no more. Mm-hmm. Now, if I was that guy that you're accusing of all these things and saying, I'll be mad, I'll be trying to defend myself, but I can't say nothing because I don't even know who that guy is. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it just requires that time to just be in that situation, because you don't want to just start, well, this is what we're going to do.
And somebody did ask, they said, so what did y'all do? Did you sit tight or talk about it? We didn't talk about it for
I think
a very
talking about the
long time.
problem makes it worse.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about the problem, or we didn't actually talk about, okay, you're back around and we're working on getting back together. Like,
What
it was
he just
never
described was, okay,
So how
there's
long
a
would
person,
you do that for? though?
there's,
the woman has to have in her, if that's not up to, so the guy, you still don't
'Cause
talk to
somebody
the
may
guy
ask,
about it, right?
How long would you be willing to just
Right.
go willing?
Somebody did ask me that, and I did say,
I want to say this shortly before you say that. Like, for a guy, if a woman's energy, just by her being her, like builds you up and rejuvenates your spirit, and it's peaceful enough for you to
decompress
and just be yourself, there's no fighting against that.
Yeah.
That is what it
And
is.
she's healing him and she don't even know it.
Exactly.
She's healing
God
him.
is doing that.
Yes.
That's God.
That's something that a woman, see, the woman wants to be in control. She's trying to find a way to be in control of something.
That's why I
is
said
what
it
the
was
control
ego.
part is.
when you
I get
said
it now.
that.
No, I
Because
just
The
feel
question
like
is,
if when he's around
you want to dictate what's about to happen.
Yeah.
or you could be,
I get it.
you
Like,
could
for
possibly be in
safety,
a whole nother
for
relationship.
safety.
No,
But
he was
but
in a
even
whole
so-
nother. That's how I like.
No.
Okay, but let's say that
No,
situation,
see,
even
guys, I
so,
think guys know.
that's even big ups for you, because if he has a girlfriend, right,
And I'm still
and
here.
he sees her a couple times a week, but something is drawing him to you every day, every night, all the time.
That's it right
Yeah.
there. Think about what he's
He's
saying.
not even controlling that.
Think about what he's saying. It's a spiritual. I don't want to get.
It's
It's
spiritual.
a spiritual drawing. That's something saying. Like I said, there's never a
if
time.
her spirit,
Never a
is the
time
one
that I'm saying, nah. Never I rejected. Never. Maybe I don't see you, but it was always something that just was like, I got to go back over here. And maybe he don't understand it. And when you try to make him understand it prematurely, he's gonna have to come up with something.
Yeah.
He gotta come up with
He's gonna have
something.
to say something he might not even know.
Yeah, he's like, oh no, you know what? Never mind. I just was like, I was just trying to.
Or you might embarrass him and be like,
Yeah. Well, why you
Why
got
you
you
keep
over here with a
coming
girl
over
and
here?
you got a
You
girl
gotta-
up? You know what? You're right.
I should be over
I
there.
should be over there. Yep. But like you said, it's a big.
I don't know. I get what y'all saying, but for me, if you got a girl,
I think
I
it's
don't know.
different.
I know
though.
for me, let me just say,
I feel like you're saying, why are you gonna do that?
No.
to me? Like,
No. Here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you my real way, because it was me for real.
I'm not gonna do that to you. I left you to
Right.
do that.
Right.
Yeah.
So now I want to do that again. But no, this is the part. This is the part for me, and this was my thought process. This helped me through my process, right? So one, I knew not to ask the questions because I knew it would make it awkward. I didn't understand why it would make it awkward, but I knew it would make it awkward. And probably what the thing you just said, like, oh, I should be over there, or I should be over there. I never did that. But as you asked the question before, well, how long do you do that? So the woman has to have in her mind a timeline. And that timeline can't be, oh, well, if he don't tell me in 90 days, and then the timeline has to be a realistic timeline. And you never have to mention the timeline to him. You just make yourself less and less accessible
There you go.
during that
Yes,
time.
yes.
You don't have
And that
to.
will
And
jog
draw
him to make him say, you know
well,
what, I gotta
oh,
make a
yeah,
decision.
She's pulling
yeah.
away, or she's veering off. Like, a lot of women don't understand. You shutting the hell up works your situation faster than you running your goddamn mouth. We want to talk so much to maneuver things. No, this piece gotta go here. This piece, no, because it don't look good here. It gotta go here. No, it don't gotta. We want to control things so much, and we use our mouth so much. When in reality, we're supposed to be using our prayer and our spirit to move things around us. And that usually happens by shutting up and going to God or going within to figure it out. That's why you got to give yourself a timeline. Go within and say, okay, in about 8 months, if this has not, he doesn't even know this, but I gave him 9 months. And I said this is what I said to myself. If I could build a whole person in 9 months and birth a person, then I can fix this. And that's how I gave myself. I gave it 9 months. Like, if I could make a whole being that can live, walk, and breathe, there's no reason why spiritually in 9 months I can't resurrect a relationship. And I wasn't actually trying to resurrect it, but I gave it 9 months to come to full growth and full cultivation. So that was the timeline I gave myself. And it actually was like about 8 something, right? But the last part for your thing was like, if he's coming, then why would you? What if he has that the other girl? Here's the thing: if you're married and separated, the precedence goes to the wife, not to the girlfriend. So I could care less about her. It wasn't my job to think about her. It was her job to think about me. So now, once I'm back in the building, I could care less about what you feel. I could care less that he's over here. This is where he's supposed to be. So now, sorry, Charlie, you should have thought about it. You should have waited until we were all the way done, and you didn't. So it's on you.
You should really be proud that you have a man that other women want. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not.
Well,
saying,
no woman wants the man in the way. Remember that meme that says you go to your guy's phone and his name of girls rejected.
Yeah. You go to your guy's phone and they're like, no, thank you. You nice, but.
It's like you show the girl crying like she go to her guy's phone and night, but other women rejected.
Yo, listen, imagine her going to his phone. Then you go into your phone, you're like, oh shoot. You're like, this is so sad. Like, oh,
I love you.
yo, and he imagine he gotta go to his boys and be like, yo, my wife went to my phone. What happened?
Well, she fine, yo. Nigga, picture, she's so sad.
I'm sorry to me. I don't get no bitches.
Yo, how do they get so far?
Man, now she starts second guessing, like, damn, they don't want
Why
to. Why do I want them?
No, we gave him
These are real answers.
No, but my answer is don't say nothing. Really.
These are real answers.
I know they do. No, they really do want real
They're
answers.
in the.
I think we gave them real
No, y'all
answers.
didn't give them real information.
So
have fun.
Go with the flow.
Yeah, we told this girl to go with the flow. We told the other girl that's married and separated to sit tight and not have the conversation, to let it unfold the way it is and put the timeline in her mind as to when she wants to pull away from the situation where she can't emotionally take it anymore. And you know that for yourself as a woman. You know when you can't, it's just like, I can't do this anymore. I love him. I just want him from, I want us.
And
We can't say the time.
I think
Right.
I think the key to that is not to just pull away, but it's to
Right,
make
right.
yourself less available.
Yeah, you
right?
gotta gradually do that.
You gotta
Make
gradually do
yourself
it, because
less
what's not gonna do is because he put it this way.
That ain't
He
dumb.
knows what he's doing. He knows that I'm gonna eventually have to have this conversation.
Yeah.
He knows that. Now, of course, like anything else, you're gonna try to go as long as you can,
without
or
it,
or you're gonna go until you get the epiphany and go, I get it. I know what I'm doing now. But then there's also the situation where he has a responsibility on the other side. He don't want to see that other girl hurt, so now he has to figure out a way to manage that, to mitigate the whole thing.
So should she just not be? Not. I'm not trying to use the word entertaining, but not be trying to see what could work for her, because
Nothing ain't worked for her anyway. Well, I know the weird part about it is no guys is really checking for me. And here's the thing: you gotta, as a woman, when you're separated. So for me, I had a baby, right? So as a woman, when you're separated, you gotta understand when you have a baby, that child is your first priority, not a relationship. That turns you doofy. If you worried about a relationship and you got a little child, your little child, and you taking care of that child and mitigating that child takes precedence over you trying to find another man to add into that house. Not to mention, it doesn't make sense to bring a strange man into the house with your small child. Like, it just, because at first it was like, oh, well, look, if you got a little girl, be safer, but now it's guys. So you can't really base it on whether you have a boy child or a girl child. It's pedophiles, it's crazy people out here. You just can't.
I do respect my first wife for doing that, like sort of raising the kids before she,
decided
to a serious.
Yeah. So for her to be actually thinking,
but do we know she has small kids?
Probably
no,
not.
most women got kids,
but they may not be small.
But we just
okay. So even if they're not
they're
small,
they're
if they're
11 and
12, they got activities. You got a daughter. You can't bring a man around your 12-year-old daughter. That's crazy. So, because this is what women don't understand. This is unpopular opinion, but what a lot of women don't understand, I'm getting a little bit scientific here, is that when a man has a daughter, right? The way that God designs you, your pheromones are not attractive to your father. So as you grow up, and that little girl is going to become a young woman, and she's going to emit pheromones that say, come get me. Those pheromones are not attractive to her biological dad ever, unless he's a psychopath or sadistic. And that's a whole other situation. But if he's a normal guy, he's not attracted to that. That's why you could walk around, dad, with your sports bra on and your booty shorts, and he never looked. It was just like, ugh. Like they're just.
I didn't even tell you to put something
He's
on.
like, oh, you can't wear that outside. Like, and go put some clothes on, guys. They're not with that. But when you have an 11-year-old in a house with another man that's not her biological dad, her pheromones still emit, and it's still instinctual whether they want it to be or not. So I'm not saying he's going to act on it, but
and the girl is going to have a crush on him too.
Like a low,
on low key.
Because he's a guy and he emits pheromones. That's not her biological father's. So that's why it's just imperative as women to be thinkers and not just dumb. Like, oh, just get me a guy and I got me a daughter and he can come over because he got to take care of me and my daughter.
And these days, you got to watch for your boys.
That's what I was
these
just saying.
Niggas like booty holes.
That's what I was saying. Even
these
with
niggas like they rubber band stretched. Like,
ew, Yodi, you nasty. But that's why I said that it's not the same. It's different.
it's a different day today, man.
So your priority should be your children. And if you don't have children, so I get what you're saying. If you don't have children, then your work should be on healing you to enter into any new relationship, whether it's with him or a new
But
guy.
what if she's already?
And if you feeling some type of way about not
ready.
knowing, then
I'm just
pull
asking,
away
like,
then.
what if she's at that point? She's worked on herself. What is she? I'm giving two different scenarios. Like, she don't got kids,
And she's
I'm
working on
trying to listen to
herself.
what you said.
and she still should just be waiting on this.
No, I'm not
Don't
saying
just move on yourself.
Okay.
Pull the trigger.
I'm not saying
Okay, but
No,
it's only because God saying to wait.
Listen.
No,
No.
because in the scenario, she seems to enjoy your company too.
Yeah.
And that's why we're saying this.
So
Like, if she was
had
done,
another-
let her be done.
If she had another
yeah,
situation,
that's what I mean.
he wouldn't be around in the first place.
Yeah, facts.
Right, because
Like, he's not going to come
Yeah.
around a woman who's giving him the Heisman vibe. Like,
Listen,
nah, stay away.
Yeah,
from
she's
this.
allowing
If
it.
And if
she
she
would
has
have,
a man that she likes, a woman, once you have a guy you like, your energy toward the other guy changes.
he's not gonna be having fun there. He's gonna be on some.
So he'll just be going away.
Yeah.
So I see what you're saying. You don't want to be the woman that's just waiting around to see what this guy gonna
You're
do.
just
But if nobody's
right.
checking for you and he's the only one